Hey guys, Carl here from Outdoor Vancouver, and today I'm back in Lynn Headwaters Regional Park, and today I'm going to be checking out Norvan Falls, which is actually one of my favorite lazy day trail running routes. And I say lazy because even though the trail is about 15 kilometers to reach the waterfall and back, as far as North Shore trail running goes, it's incredibly flat, and it's not a very technical trail, and it's very easy to follow. You can just kind of go on cruise control, follow the trail all the way to the waterfall, enjoy it, and head back. Today, however, I'm going to be hiking in with my DSLR camera and my tripod instead of running, and I'm going to see if I can get some good photos of the waterfall for once. I've had a hiking guide on the Outdoor Vancouver website forever for Norvan Falls, and despite having been there at least a dozen times over the years, all the photos I have of the waterfall are quite terrible. So today I wanted to hike in with my tripod, with my camera, see if I can get a decent photo of the falls for once. I'm not too sure what the lighting conditions will be like in there this time of year, and I'm also not too sure what kind of flow the water will have. It might not be great at all. I'm gonna go check it out and see what we can do. All right, I'm just in the debris chute, which is roughly more or less the halfway point of the way to the falls. Just a large opening. There's a search and rescue cache here, and you can see Mount Fromm just over the creek. So there's actually two routes you can take to get to the debris chute. I took the lower route, which is the lower Lynn Loop trail, which connects to the Cedar Mills trail. It follows the creek, it's flat, it's easy. The other option is you could take the upper Lynn Loop trail and the Headwaters trail, or there's actually a connector between those two, so you could do a combination of the lower and upper trails. The upper trails take a little bit longer, they're more technical, so it depends on how much time you have, how much you want to work out. You can definitely do the upper route if you want. Today I took the lower route just because I'm a little pressed for time. The Lynn Loop trail itself is just a nice hike on its own if you're shorter on time and don't want to go all the way to Norvan Falls. We have a guide for that hike as well, so I'll put a link to the video for that in the description below. Once you're beyond the debris chute, the trail gets a little bit more technical, a little bit more ups and downs, lots of tree roots, more loose rocks, but it's still very easy to follow. You shouldn't have too much trouble at all. The only thing you gotta watch out for is that you don't miss Norvan Falls. There are two much longer, much more difficult trails that extend from Norvan Falls. So one, you wanna make sure you're not going over the metal bridge that takes you into Haynes Valley. And two, you wanna make sure you're not going up Coliseum Mountain Trail, which is clearly marked. There's a big sign there. So this whole area is second growth forest. It was all logged about 100 years ago. And as you're walking along the trail, you'll see a lot of evidence of the old mills and some of the stumps of the trees that were cut down a long time ago. It's crazy to think how big the trees must have been before they were cut down. And if you're interested in big trees, there's a massive cedar just on the other side of Lynn Creek nearby. You have to start at a different trailhead. The tree can be found along the Kennedy Falls Trail, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. It's one of the biggest trees, if not the biggest tree I've ever seen. One of the great things about Norvan Falls is it's a great hike any time of year. In the spring, the flow of the water is strongest, so the waterfall looks the most impressive. In the summer, this trail is entirely shaded by the tree canopy, so it's a nice, cool, hot summer day hike where you're nice and shaded. In the summer, it's also a nice quick detour on the way to larger hikes like Coliseum Mountain, Lynn Lake, and Haynes Valley. It's also a good one to say for bad weather, rainy, overcast days, because there's no real panoramic views anywhere. So if it's a really cloudy, foggy, rainy day, you're not gonna miss out on any of the scenery. You're still gonna see everything. And in the winter, it's a lower elevation hike, so it usually stays snow-free. And even if there is snow, you can throw on a pair of trail crampons and hike in, usually with no problem. And if we get an extended period of really cold weather, like happened last year, the waterfall will actually freeze, which is really cool. I got a chance to check that out last winter with my buddy Jeff. And that was probably the most spectacular I've ever seen Norvan Falls. All right, I made it to the falls. I was able to get a few photos, but because it's winter, everything was caked in a thin layer of ice from the mist of the waterfall, which made it extremely sketchy scrambling around the rocks on the creek. So I got a few photos. I don't think they're gonna turn out that great, but they'll definitely be an improvement over what I had on the website before. If you're not already, subscribe to our channel to be notified of when we put out new trail videos just like this one. And we'll see you next time.